And one of the root causes of this problem is something called planned obsolescence, which is a concept that grew out of the business world, which is that as products have shorter and shorter lifespans, people have to keep replacing them and buying more and more, which increases the profits for those corporations that sell this electronic equipment. But of course, they're destroying the planet in the process. So, can you tell us, who came up, or where did this come from? This concept of planned obsolescence? Because we think back, to our childhood or whatever. We think of our parents, grandparents, and so forth that might have been tinkering or fixing equipment, especially like old radios and stuff like that, that could extend their life for a long period of time. And that's not the case anymore. So something obviously is different about the equipment. So can you tell us about how this concept of planned obsolescence developed and really took over much of the technology sectors around the world?
Yes. So the concept of planned obsolescence is not unique to consumer electronics, but it became relevant the more manufacturing costs became cheaper and cheaper. And so it became a lot more convenient for manufacturers to come up with miniaturized products, which are also appealing to plenty of people, taking shortcuts so that it will be faster to manufacture and more efficient and not as easy to disassemble, for example. But there's more to it, and some people might think that planned obsolescence means that the day after the warranty on your product expires, someone somewhere will click a button and your product stops working, or plenty of them will develop a defect. It's actually a little bit more sophisticated. The planned aspect of planned obsolescence has more to do with deliberate choices made by manufacturers on how to design a product, what kind of decisions to take, whether a certain type of component that they choose might be slightly lower quality so that they can save a few cents off that component, and the failure rate might be higher as a result. Or other deliberate choices, such as choosing not to make certain spare parts available at all, or pricing them at a way, at a price point that will disencourage everyone or most people from performing a repair. And most recently, using software as a weapon to prevent repairability of products. There's a number of examples, but basically two types of uses of software are problematic. One, manufacturers that choose not to support a product for long enough. So they decide that you'll receive security updates for X number of months or years, if you're lucky, and then that's it. So the product might still function, but you might not necessarily feel comfortable using it in a secure way, because indeed it might not be receiving additional patches. And this is a problem that's becoming bigger and bigger the more products become connected to the internet. So it used to be about smartphones and the likes, but then you take Internet of Things devices of all kinds, and everyone appreciates having a product that connects to the internet so that you might be able to let it talk to other products in your home or office. And as a result, you just need one that no longer gets updated, and your whole set of products might stop performing in a conjunctive united way. There's a second layer of obsolescence related to software, and it is the use by some manufacturers of software to sort of part pair individual spare parts with a whole device. And this is problematic because it might discourage or make it impossible for people to use third party spares, or a second hand part of a device that couldn't per se be repaired, but the part was still fine, because the manufacturer could choose not to authorize the reuse of that part and block some of its functionality via software. So these are the kind of things, it is a choice, a planned choice, to take some of these decisions, whether at software or hardware level, whether to make a repair manual available to the public or not, what kind of money you're asking for a replacement screen. And that's why we need to change all of this. Doesn't make sense.